Hey YouTube, Anna here. I'm just here to do the pregnancy tag that I am sort of stealing from Lisa Marie TTC. So let's get into it. It's really long, so let me forewarn you, this might be a really long video. Number one is, what day did you find out that you were pregnant? And I found out August 5th in the afternoon. Earlier that morning, I took a test and I swear I could have seen a line, and my husband was like, kind of, yeah. And usually he's like, yes or no. And it's usually no, because, I have crazy line eyes and I can see a line where there's not. But he was like, kind of, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should take another one. So I took a first response in the afternoon and it was positive. So yeah, I was crazy. Number two, how did you feel when you found out? I felt super excited because I always, when I see the positive, I'm excited. But the second time I got pregnant, it was a very weird circumstance for me. I had what I thought was a period, and then I had a positive pregnancy test. So it was just strange circumstances to be in. And this time I was seen by a fertility specialist, my endocrinologist, and I was on the right balance of everything. And I had Clomid, and had my IUI. So I just was happier this time, and I could actually sort of let go of that, like, this is not right type mentality that I had with my second pregnancy that ended in miscarriage, because it felt like it was falling in line, and it was actually really early to be finding out. I think I was only like 9 days past IUI, so that was really exciting. Number three, who was with you? My husband. That's it. Number four, who was the first person you told? Besides my husband, I think I called my mother-in-law. Yeah, I think I called my mother-in-law, but we waited until the afternoon to talk to her because we wanted to actually get to speak to her instead of just instant message her because she was at work. And she was still in the parking lot of her job, and she's like, what's going on, guys? And we were like, we're pregnant, and we all cried. And my in-laws paid for the IUIs. They knew when we were going and everything, and she knew that I had my 2 weeks to wait after I had my IUI before I would test, but she didn't know how crazy I was and that I always test early. So she wasn't expecting the phone call that we were pregnant. So we kind of got to surprise her that way, and we were like, we're pregnant. So we cried. It was exciting and super awesome. Number five, how did your parents react and how did his parents react? So after we got done telling my mother-in-law, we called my father-in-law, and he was super excited. And I think he said something like, finally! So that was super exciting. And my dad, so I don't talk to my mom. I don't even know where she lives. So didn't call my mom, but I called my dad, and he was like, Mia, I'm so happy for you. And I could tell he was crying. And so I kind of got teary-eyed, and I told him, it's a secret. We're only telling our parents. No one else knows. So please don't tell anybody. And of course, he told the entire world. He was way too excited. He's like, later I was talking to him about it, and I'm like, Dad, you're not supposed to say anything. And he's like, but that's good news. I can't hold in good news. So he means well. I love him. Number six, are your parents and his parents helping with baby names? Not really. We're doing that on our own. It's hard to name a child, so yeah. Number seven, did they buy anything for the baby? Yes. So My mother-in-law and father-in-law waited until we found out the gender of the baby before they bought us anything, but they bought us like a pack of clothes, which I showed you with my Disney gender reveal video. Yes, so they did buy stuff. My dad went out and bought this really cute child-size rocking chair, which I thought was adorable. So yes, they did. And he didn't know the gender yet, so he was like, this is gender neutral. You can make it, you could put a different pad on it to make it a boy or a girl thing. So, number 8, do they call to check on you? I talk to my dad usually about once a week, and he's always excited to hear about my doctor's appointments or how I'm feeling. Like, he's very interested in how things are going. Whenever my husband talks to his parents probably 2 to 3 times a week, and yeah, they always ask how I'm doing, and you know, if anything new has happened, or they want to know how the appointments go, so they do check on me. When's your due date? April 19th, 2015. I can't believe it's right around the corner. Number 10, how far along are you? I am in my 30th week. I can't believe I'm in single digits until my due date. It's so weird, like, to think that I have 9 more weeks left. Yeah, it's strange. So, number 11, have you had any ultrasounds? Oh, yes. So, being with the fertility clinic, they do ultrasounds every 2 weeks in the first trimester, but I was actually in Europe for the first 7.5 weeks of my pregnancy, so I, not all 7 weeks, but part of it, like between 4 and 7 weeks, I was there. So I didn't have any ultrasounds then, but then after that I had one at 8 and one at 10, and then I had another one at, I think, 10 weeks and a few days, and then at 13 weeks, and then at 17 weeks for the gender, and then at 20 weeks, and then again, I think it was like 24 weeks, and then 28 weeks. So I've had so many. And the last few, like my 24 and my 28 week ones, were with a high risk doctor, and they have never told me once that I'm high risk. So I'm kind of, like, I like seeing my baby, of course, but I'm kind of over getting more ultrasounds. So yeah, anyway. Number 12, are you finding out the sex of the baby? Yes, we found out at 17 weeks in Florida when we were on vacation. What did you want, boy or girl? I wanted a healthy baby. To be honest, in the beginning, I wanted a boy, and like before I got pregnant, I was like, I want a boy, and I feel like I have 3 older brothers, and I'm really close with my dad, and I feel like I understand boys, like little boys, but as soon as I got pregnant, I was like, I think it's a girl, and then I started having dreams that it was a boy, and so it was sort of throwing me off, and I was sort of feeling weird about it being a boy, because I was like, no, I think I actually want a girl. Number 14 is, what did the dad want? My husband wanted a little girl. He has always said that he wanted a little girl first. So, yes. Have you had any of your big ultrasounds yet? And I assume that is anatomy scan and gender. And yes, I've had both of those. So about the birth, number 16, who is going to be with you? My husband, of course. I have one of my best friends in the world, also kind of a doula, not like a certified doula, but she was there for her sister's hypnobirthing births, 2 out of the 3. And so I asked her to sort of be my doula and help me get in different positions and just be there to support me. So her, and then my mother-in-law, whom I'm really close to, I asked her to be at the birth. She's flying in on April 16th, so it's really close to my due date, and I've always had a feeling that I'm going early, so she might not actually make it to my birth, but she's going to try, and hopefully she is here for the birth. Number 17, are you going to videotape it? If I can, yes. I think that I definitely want the PG version, like over my shoulder, what's happening. But I wouldn't be opposed to, like, my doula friend taking pictures of it actually happening from the X-rated version, but having that be sort of my own personal keepsake. Of course, I'm not about to share those things with anyone. Number 18, do you want a natural or medicated birth? Natural. I've been reading Ina May's Birthing from Within, which is a great resource. The Bradley Method book, we actually ordered the Bradley Method student handbook, so we're sort of doing husband coach childbirth as well. And I'm currently reading the Hypnobirthing book, which I like all right, but it's not my favorite method. So yeah, I definitely want a natural birth. I'm not going to be upset if I go in and I have to get some sort of pain relief. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I don't hold any sort of judgment on people that do have medicated births. It doesn't matter. Number 19, do you think you'll need a C-section? No. I'm really confident that I don't need a C-section, even though she's been breached the last few times that I've had ultrasounds. She still has time to move, so I'm not too concerned about it. It's sort of in the back of my mind always, but not going crazy yet about it. With my OB, who was very pro-vaginal birth, she did like a pap smear type thing when I had my first pregnancy, and she said, I believe you are perfectly made to have a baby vaginally. It's not going to be easy, of course. You're going to have to put some work into it, but I feel like your anatomy is set up in a great way to give birth vaginally. So that made me really happy and really confident that I could do it, and so hopefully I do. Number 20, will you cry when you hold your baby for the first time? Yes. I cry when I see other people give birth and hold their baby for the first time. So I can't even imagine what kind of crazy rush of hormones I'm going to feel when I see my baby for the first time. It makes me tear up, so I'm going to try not to talk about it because I don't want to cry hysterically. Do you think Dad will cry? Number 21. Yes, absolutely. He gets so giddy about feeling the baby move. He sort of asked the baby to kick last night, and sure enough, she punched him or kicked him pretty hard, and he just kind of got this like weird look on his face. So I feel like once she's out and she's real and he can hold her and see her, it's gonna be a flood of emotions. Yeah, he's gonna cry. Number 22. Do you know what you'll say to your baby when you first hold her? Probably something like, I love you, or oh my God, or I don't know. I'm not gonna like script it, but those seem like some of the most common things that I can imagine myself saying. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Number 23, are you scared about the labor? No. Actually, the labor, I don't feel nervous or scared about labor itself. Delivery, when I hit that transition stage and I'm pushing, I feel like there's part of me that's like kind of scared about it, but the whole build up to that, I feel like with all these coping mechanisms, I will be fine. So labor doesn't freak me out. Delivery kind of just a little bit freaks me out. Number 24, do you have names picked out? It's funny, before we knew the gender of the baby, we had a boy name picked out. I'm not going to share it because I probably will keep it a secret if I get pregnant soon and it's a boy. So we had a boy name picked out and we both really liked it, and girl names were always harder for us. And so we have a couple that we are trying out, and we call the baby by those names, but we haven't decided on a name yet. We can't sort of get on the same page at the same time. So, number 25, is a baby named after someone? Yes. We looked at a bunch of names from this genealogy chart that Doug's pop-up had, and we picked out our favorite names from there, and then Doug's pop-up actually passed away, and so we sort of want to incorporate his name into the child's middle name somehow, and so we're sort of playing with options there. Okay, so other random questions. Number 26, where was your baby conceived? About 2 hours away in a fertility clinic. I got pregnant through IUI, so that's how that happened. 27, have you felt the baby move? Yes, constantly, all the time. I love it. Number 28, do you have stretch marks? Not from this pregnancy at all. I have like old scars from stretch marks because I was very large, and then I lost nearly 60 pounds, and then so my stretch marks sort of went away and they became like the white silvery stretch marks, and I haven't had any new fresh stretch marks from being pregnant. Number 29, what was your first symptom? Probably extremely sore boobs. Yeah, I also felt a little crampy, but I remember the boobs were sort of like the giveaway because it was like my whole chest was hurting so bad. So yeah. Number 30, what is the baby's room theme? So regardless of whether it was a boy or girl, it was going to be a Disney-themed nursery. We have classic Mickey colors, so black, red, a little bit of yellow, some white in the baby's room. And I can't wait to show you guys. Once it's completely done, like we have our crib and stuff set up in the nursery, I will show you and give you the grand tour of the baby's room. Number 31. What's the first thing you bought for your baby? So before I knew I was pregnant, I had sort of a stash of cloth diapers, but for this actual pregnancy, I didn't buy anything for the baby until I was 17 weeks. And that's because I knew the gender, and so I was at Disney World, and so I bought a bunch of cute Disney girl things. Number 32, will you use cloth diapers? Yes. I don't see it being an issue because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I told my husband that when we travel, though, it will probably be necessary to use the biodegradable disposable diapers, since I won't be near a laundry facility, and that can get really expensive. So yeah, I do plan on using cloth diapers, and then if we do travel for an extended amount of time, like overnight and stuff, sorry about my phone, then I will use, I think the Honest Company makes a biodegradable one, and I'm sure other ones do as well. Breastfeeding or formula? Breastfeeding. I think breastfeeding will be something that I'm definitely going to do. And I actually had issues getting pregnant because I had such a high prolactin level, and prolactin is something that is naturally released when you're lactating. So I feel like I might actually have an overproduction of lactation, which is good because I want to breastfeed solid and pump a bunch and get like a big storage backlog, and then sort of stop actually pumping and breastfeeding somewhere down the road, 6 months down the road, 8 months down the road, and then use up my freezer stash so my baby will be breastfed for at least a year. So yeah, that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. 34. What is your favorite pregnancy book? I think Birthing from Within is my favorite birthing book. My favorite pregnancy book, I guess, would be Your Pregnancy Week by Week. It's not like an amazing book. I feel like it's less scary and less about all the abnormalities that could happen, and less like they don't use very many scare tactics to get you all freaked out about stuff. And I really like the illustrations of the size of your baby and how your abdomen should look. So yeah, I think that's one of my favorite ones. Number 35. What do you look forward to once you're no longer pregnant? What do I look forward to? Probably just holding my baby. Seeing this life that we created. I'm most looking forward to that. I'm like, in terms of like lifestyle and drinking and stuff like that, I've never been like a big drinker. I don't like wine that much. So maybe next fall having a like hard cider. I guess it's not really something that I'm like anxious for, like really looking forward to. So yeah. Number 36. Is he ready to be a daddy? Yes. It breaks my heart because he was ready to be a dad. After that first pregnancy, like once I got pregnant, he was totally on board. I'm gonna cry. And I couldn't give it to him. So I felt completely broken and sorry and just frustrated that like he picked me and I didn't work. So sorry about the ugly cry. I get crazy demonized when I cry. Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to be a daddy. And the last question is, are you ready to be a mommy? And yeah, we've been trying for over 4.5 years and I'm ready. I'm 100% ready to be a mom. So that's my really tearful, ugly cry goodbye. I hope you guys have a good week. I will talk to you ladies later. Bye.